Okay, next steps. We're done with this, and as I did before, I'm going to do the 101 first floor framing plan. Actually have in here, so that will be renamed as 101 S101 on the sheets. And as I did before, you have your tags. As you change the beams, you're seeing properly the tagging, so that's good. Another thing that it shows, it's too much information, is showing the footings of the concrete columns. So in a way, it's too much information. We only want to see the beams information. Okay, so that's under view range of the whatever presentation composites first floor S101. You go to view range, and normally view range, it shows you where you cut in, how much you're seeing above that and how much you're seeing below. These numbers are totally different in the structural template as they are in the architectural template. Okay, so I normally change this to be the first floor and first floor in both of these options and apply. And you see how I don't have the footings anymore. So the first floor composite should have the information of the first floor structure beams. If I go to the top of the footing, I should have the footings and all that information, which is good. I'm going to do afterwards the second floor composite for the structural plan, so we'll see it again. Okay, we're going to allocate a slab on top of these beams. And we're going to make a concrete slab of 12 inches, and we're going to use a different material for it. So we're also, this is in red, we're going to add a default floor finish. This is what we did in the bottom. It's going to be 2 inches above the concrete slab. Okay, in total it's going to be 14 inches. Okay, new slab is as simple as you can see here. We're going to create a concrete floor. So we go to floor, it's a structural floor. We're going to do rectangle, so we're going to snap from this point down. But before that, I want to make sure that I'm using the type that I want. So the first thing to do will be to duplicate it and to name it properly as concrete slab 12 inches. But again, we're going to call it 14 because we're going to have that floor that this one is not showing. So say 14. Concrete slab 14 inches. Say okay, that's duplicated. Now we need to change the the layers. We only have one, so I'm going to insert one and move it to the top. I'm going to change it to be a finished floor like before, and I'm going to change the material of that floor to be a default floor. Okay, as we did before. Okay, that's going to be a 2 inches and 1 foot above that. Okay. What else? We're going to use the material of the structure. We're going to use concrete lightweight. So the material that is given here by default is not the one we want. We want to use concrete. We search and we place lightweight. We say OK, and here it's preview. Okay, we say OK, say OK, and we can start creating the rectangles. Important is to make sure that you are drawing it properly in the place that you want to draw it. So it is, yes, in the first floor composite. That's the level that we have to draw it. So if you do this, the same thing under the top of footing or the third floor, you will be doing it in a totally different place. Okay. So I'm going to do a rectangle, measuring from the exterior of the concrete foundation wall. And I'm not going to go all the way down here. I'm actually going to stay up here to that point. Okay. I'm going to say OK and see what happens. The classic question, whenever you do a slab, and it could be a little bit annoying in the beginning, is would you like walls to go up to this floor level to attach to its bottom? If you say yes, all the walls will be automatically shift down and attached to the bottom of that newly created slab. If you say no, the slab won't matter to the walls and they will go aligned to the top, so they will be crossing them. Okay. We want to say yes because we want those walls to be attached to the lower level. Go to the 3D and see what happened. So you see that wall over here? That wall has been pushed down this difference, exactly the dimension of the slab. So that's when we say yes, that's what happens. The walls come down. Okay. So we have to do that a couple more times. You can do it also in the 3D, or you can go again to the 2D and say again floor structural. Make everything the same type. Make sure you're in the first floor, rectangle, and you draw from that corner inside, okay, right there, to this point here. Say OK. It's going to ask me the same question. I'm going to say yes as well. And also it tells me there's some walls, it says it's highlighted, but I don't see anything. Just some walls that are uncomfortable with that change. So before there was a wall that was all extended beyond the limit of the slab, so that part didn't know how to attach to the bottom because it didn't have a bottom. So normally I say detach target as in I don't care. I want to do this. So you go to the 3D, and again that wall is pushed down. In this case, I think the conflict is coming here. No, this is telling you, hey, you have this guy, you want to also attach it to the bottom? Oh, no, we're going to do another slab right there. Okay. Let's do two more. Floor, structural, rectangle, making sure the type is correct, that you're drawing in a proper place. Here. Here. Oops. So you can edit as you go, so you can take it wherever you want. You can even make a little more complex perimeter. You can just start drawing around not only this module, but you could take two modules or even the whole thing if you wanted to. There. Here. And then close. As long as it's close perimeter, you're good to go. So you say okay. It's going to ask me again, do you want all those walls to snap to the bottom? Say yes. Detach targets. 3D. And in general, at this point, it's good to navigate and see if everything is properly set. The walls are attached to the bottom of those new slabs. Everything is good. And you could also go, for example, to the sections and double check that everything is going properly. So you see how the slab is here. You have two layers. The top is the finished floor. This is the beam. This is the column, etc., etc. So things are going good. This is a good thing about Revit, that you're seeing the resolution of the section. You're seeing it in the same model. So you navigate from section to plan and see how things are working out as we go. Okay, one thing that I don't explain over here is the idea of, well, this is all the same steps. This idea is what happened with the beam. If I select the beam in my section, I select one. I don't know if you see that blue dot on the top. This is actually the top, a relationship of that beam. So actually, this beam is somehow embedded inside of the slab. Well, I would like to have that point at the bottom of the slab, exactly. So if we understand slabs, that point can be dragged down. And there's actually for each, let's go to Wireframe now. If I select any beam, that point is both in the beginning of the beam and at the end. You see how there's 2 points? So if I want to offset down those beams, I need to offset the starting level, which is this point, and the ending level, which is this point, simultaneously. So what I'm going to do is in the 3D is get to this perspective. I'm going to select the whole area in the top. Make sure that the filtering allows me to select only the framing, the structural elements. Double check that I only selected beams around. And now I want to change the offsets. How much? Down? the slab dimension was 12 inches, if I remember well. Sorry, 14 inches, which is 1 foot and 2 inches. No? So you say negative 14, you can even say inches, copy, paste, apply. All of those beams will be dragged down that exact dimensions, 14 inches. If you want to. So I cannot really see it properly. I'm going to go to hidden. So the best place to see it is always in the section. Go to the section and you check that the beam's top point, and I'm going to thin lines TL, is exactly aligned to the bottom of the slab. Thin lines, perfect. No? Okay, so next step is going to be columns and trusses. I'll do that in the last video.